Welcome back to Final Cut Pro with the Fro. Today I'm going to be showing you how to use keyframes. A keyframe indicates the value of an effect parameter at a particular point in the project. When two keyframes with different values are set in your editing software, a transition from one value to another is calculated, resulting in a dynamic change to that parameter. So here's how you can use keyframes to fade in or out of your video. Instead of using a cross dissolve effect, what you can do is make sure you're at the beginning of your clip. So inside of your video inspector, you're going to make sure you're under the video tab, and where it says compositing, you're going to want to add a keyframe to the opacity. So with our playhead at the start of the clip, we're going to make this 0. So as you can see, that's now blacked out that clip. So I'm clicking the playhead again, I'm going to hit shift and I'm hitting the right arrow key. Let's do that again. Right about there, that should be good. So I did about 4 or 5 hits there. Now I'm going to add another keyframe and I'm going to change this value to 100 and I'm going to hit enter. And now instead of the shot just playing, it's going to fade in, as you can see. And we can do the same thing on the way out. So we'll add another keyframe here, back at opacity, and then just go to the end of our clip. See the last clip so we can see the end. Okay, so we're right here. Then we're gonna add another keyframe and then put 0. Now this will fade out as we play back, like that. So that's one easy way. If you don't want to add any cross dissolves, you can just use keyframing the opacity to fade in or out of the clip. And if you want to reset what you did, you just hit the reset arrow and it will reset everything, and now you don't have any fade ins or out. I'm going to show you how you can use keyframes on a music track. You can use this on audio clips too as well if you want. Instead of just cutting the clip here, if we want the music to stop, say we just did this, now the music would cut out abruptly. I'll let you hear that. To make that smoother, what we can do instead of just chopping it out is we can add some keyframes. So we'll go right before we want it to end and add one keyframe up here on the volume tab right there. And I'm just gonna hit the right arrow key once and add another keyframe beside that. Now I'm gonna pull the volume down all the way because we want the music out. And as you can see here, all the music is gone. But that pretty much just made the same cut we did. So to make it smooth, I'm just hitting Command plus to zoom in. And I'm gonna grab this keyframe node and I'm gonna drag it out. We can pull it really far to like that. So now you can drag it out as far as you'd like, and that track will continue to fade out because you set the 2 keyframes. So as you can see, it's a lot better than just that abrupt cut. Back to the video clip here. Another way you can do keyframes is, say you want to do a little small screen pump or something like that. If you're doing a music video or an audio visualizer, maybe you need the screen to move a little bit. I'm right clicking the video clip. I'm going to show video animation. I'm just going to drag to, it doesn't matter where you want to add this effect. I'm going to add one keyframe here. Hit the right key 5 times, add another keyframe, but this time I'm going to change it to 115 on the scale all, and I'm going to go back to the playhead 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times at the right arrow key, add another keyframe, bring this back to 100. And now, so you can see what happened there is it added the 3 keyframes. So this is at 100, this is at 115, and this is back at 100. If you want to take away these keyframes, you can easily just right click and delete the keyframe, but I'll just play it back so you can see the effect that we just made. For me, that's a little slow, so what I'm gonna do, I'm holding the keyframe and just pulling it closer to this middle keyframe here where we actually make it move. Okay, so that should be a little bit quicker. I still don't love it. I'm just gonna move a little bit closer. Okay. Now with it a little bit closer, play it again. Perfect. Just a little subtle screen pump, and you can continue to do it with the beat to the song, or you can just go back and do that keyframing process at another part of the clip. So if you wanted to do it again down the line, you can just go here, add the keyframe, go over again, add another keyframe at 115, and over again, keyframes back to 100. And now this one's going to be quicker, and now you can see that was too fast, so I can pull out that a little bit. Perfect. In this video clip, you can see the two different sets of keyframes. We have one pump here, then the next one shows up there. And if you want to erase all the keyframes that you made, you can just go to the transform area and hit the redo button there. And if you don't want to see the video animation anymore, you can just click X. If you remember from the text reveal video, we went in and keyframed the mask movement with the car, so I'll cut back to that now. We're gonna have to keyframe out the mask itself. So to do that, we're gonna head over into our inspector tab underneath the draw mask area, and we're gonna choose transform and click on position keyframe, the rotation keyframe, and the scale keyframe, along with the control points too as well. What we've done is we've started the mask here, so we've told the computer as we move forward, we want the mask to follow where we take it next. So we're gonna click the red playhead here, and I'm gonna only press one right arrow key over. Now as I do that, you can see the mask is still in the same spot and the car is moved, so we need to move the mask with it. So I'm just pulling it to the right to follow along. And now as you can see, as I do this, the text is starting to disappear. And to see this a little bit easier, all I'm gonna do is invert the mask, and now you can see it showing up behind. So as we press the right arrow, more of the text shows up. So I'm going to continue pressing the right arrow key and pulling my mouse to the right until this whole text is revealed. So now you can see what it looks like. I'm just going to click the effects here so that box goes away of the mask, and we'll just play it through. Okay, so now let's add an effect onto this clip because we can keyframe this effect as well. It doesn't matter what effect you do end up choosing, you can keyframe any effect you want. For this example, I'll go with bad TV. So at the beginning of the clip, I'll add a keyframe. So I'm in the inspector tab. Inside of my effect called bad TV, I'm gonna add a keyframe to the amount of it. So at the start, I don't want any of this. So I'm gonna put 0. As you can see, the clip went back to normal. But maybe let's say halfway through the clip, I want the effect to start kicking up. So I can go here now, keyframe, and then I'm just gonna hit 1 over, so it starts to come up here. I'm gonna just change this to like a 10 or 11. So now this is at 11, and then just before the end, I'll add another keyframe here. Just go 1 over and change this to 25, back to where it was when we started. Now let's watch this back, and you can see as it plays back, how the effect changes throughout the clip because of the keyframes that we added. And there you have it. So it's subtly, as you see, the effect doesn't show up, and then the keyframe comes here, and you can see it's at 11, and as it plays through, now it's gone up to 25. So keyframes are very versatile. Like I said earlier, you can keyframe photos, videos, music clips, audio clips. So just get creative with it. I play around with these keyframes as much as possible because this is what's going to separate you from the crowd, the unique little small things you add to your videos. And this is a great way you can go about making those small, unique changes. If there's anything else you need to know about Final Cut Pro, let me know in the comments down below.